Hello, welcome to the Simple Spoken English with Noel channel. In today's episode, we will learn words about love, feelings like sad, excited, and hopeful, and simple past tense verbs like wrote, read, felt, and spoke. I hope you enjoy it and that it will help you improve your English. Now let's move on to our story. Tom lived in a small, peaceful village surrounded by hills and fields. The village was quiet, with cobblestone streets and houses with red roofs. Tom was a hard-working man who lived alone in a small house. Every morning, he woke up early, tended to his crops, and watched the sunrise. He enjoyed the simple life, but there was one thing that made his heart uneasy. He was in love with Rose. Rose was the baker's daughter. She was kind and beautiful, with long brown hair and a warm smile. Everyone in the village loved Rose because she was always ready to help. She gave bread to the poor and spent time talking to the lonely. Tom often saw her at the market or walking with her friends. He admired her from a distance, but he never had the courage to talk to her. One day, Tom decided he had to let Rose know how he felt. He thought about talking to her directly, but every time he imagined it, his heart raced, and he felt too nervous. Finally, he decided to write a letter. That evening, Tom sat at his small wooden desk. The room was quiet, except for the sound of crickets outside. He took a deep breath and started to write. Dear Rose, you are the most beautiful person I have ever seen. Your smile makes me happy every day. I like you very much. I hope we can talk sometime. Yours, Tom. Tom read the letter several times. It was simple, but it came from his heart. He folded the letter carefully and put it into an envelope. The next morning, just as the sun was rising, Tom walked to Rose's house. His hands shook as he slipped the letter into her mailbox. Then he hurried away, hoping no one had seen him. Rose found the letter later that afternoon. She was surprised, but curious. She opened it and read it slowly. A smile spread across her face. She wondered who had written it. When she saw Tom's name at the bottom, she remembered him, the quiet man who worked in the fields. Rose thought Tom was kind and decided to write back. Her letter said, Dear Tom, thank you for your kind words. They made me smile. You are very sweet. I would like to talk to you. Can we meet tomorrow at the big tree near the lake? Best wishes, Rose. Tom could not believe it when he found Rose's letter in his mailbox. She wanted to meet him. He felt excited and nervous. He thought, what will I say to her? That night he could hardly sleep. He kept imagining their meeting under the big tree. The next day, Tom dressed in his best clothes. He combed his hair and even polished his shoes as he walked to the big tree. His heart pounded in his chest. When he arrived, Rose was already there, holding a small basket of bread. Hello, Tom, Rose said with a smile. Hello, Rose, Tom replied, his voice soft but happy. They sat under the big tree and talked for hours. Rose told Tom about her family, her love for baking, and her dream of opening a big bakery one day. Tom shared his love for nature and how much he admired her kindness. As they talked, Tom felt his nervousness fade away. He realized that Rose was not only beautiful, but also kind and easy to talk to. Over the next few weeks, Tom and Rose spent more and more time together. They walked through the fields, laughed by the lake, and shared stories about their lives. One day, Tom brought Rose a bouquet of wildflowers. These are beautiful, Rose said, her cheeks turning pink. Thank you, Tom. Rose, Tom said, his voice serious, I care about you very much. Will you be my girlfriend? Rose smiled and said, Yes, Tom. I would like that very much. From that day on, Tom and Rose were together. Their love grew stronger every day, and they both felt lucky to have found each other. The villagers often saw them walking hand in hand or sitting under the big tree, talking and laughing. Everyone said they were a perfect match. But one morning, Tom received a letter from the government. He was called to join the military. Tom felt sad but knew he had to go. He told Rose the news. "I have to leave," Tom said, holding Rose's hand. "I don't know how long I will be gone." Rose's eyes filled with tears. "I will miss you so much," she said. "But I will wait for you, Tom." The day Tom left, the whole village came to see him off. Rose gave him a small locket with her picture inside. "Keep this with you," she said, "so you will not feel alone." Tom promised to write letters to Rose. Every week, Rose waited by the mailbox. When a letter from Tom arrived, she felt happy and hopeful. In his letters, Tom told her about the places he visited and how much he missed her. He wrote about the stars he saw at night and how they reminded him of the nights they spent by the lake. Tom's life in the military was hard but also meaningful. He trained every day with his unit, learning how to stay strong and work as a team. He woke up early in the morning and ran for miles. He learned to build shelters, cook simple meals, and fix broken tools. Tom wrote to Rose about his new skills, saying, "I learned to make a fire with just 2 sticks." Sometimes, Tom and his unit had to travel to faraway places. He described the deserts, forests, and mountains he saw. "The stars are so bright here," he wrote to Rose. "They remind me of home and you." Tom also faced challenges. He missed Rose and his village every day. When he felt lonely, he held the locket Rose had given him and thought about their time together. He worked hard and helped his teammates whenever he could. Tom's kindness and strength made him a good friend to everyone in his unit. While Tom was away, Rose kept herself busy. She worked at the bakery with her father, waking up early to bake bread and pastries. The smell of fresh bread filled the village every morning. Rose gave bread to the children and made special treats for the elderly. To feel close to Tom, Rose often sat under the big tree where they first met. She brought a book or her knitting and thought about their talks and laughter. Sometimes, she wrote letters to Tom while sitting under the tree. Rose also started a small garden. She planted flowers and vegetables, telling Tom about them in her letters. "The roses are blooming beautifully," she wrote. "I named one of them after you." Every time Rose received a letter from Tom, she felt her heart fill with joy. She kept his letters in a special box and read them whenever she missed him. She wrote back, telling Tom stories about the village and sharing her hopes for their future. Months turned into years. The war was long, and Tom missed Rose more with each passing day. He kept her locket close to his heart and often looked at her picture. It gave him strength. Finally, the war ended. Tom returned to the village. When Rose saw him walking down the cobblestone street, she ran to him and hugged him tightly. "You are home," she said, tears of joy in her eyes. "I am home," Tom said, "and I never want to leave again." Their love had survived the distance, and they knew they were stronger together. They sat under the big tree, just as they had on the day they first met, and talked about their future. Tom and Rose knew that no matter what happened, their love would always bring them back to each other. What do you think will happen next in Tom and Rose's story? Write your ideas in the comments. In the story, Tom wrote letters to Rose. Can you write a sentence using the past tense of another verb? Share your sentence in the comments. Thank you for watching Simple Spoken English with Noel. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next episode.